Right, we've been waiting for these for a while, but they've come now. Gaskets. So they're here, so which means I can now take off the clutch cover and the sump and also the generator cover. Right, just about to undo the sump nut, and I don't know if you can see that. Somebody has had grips on it, pliers, something, and absolutely mullered it. So I guess I'll have to do the same. Not ideal. I'll put a new one in when we're done. Drip tray is in place to catch the old oil. Oil strainer, oil pressure relief valve, take those out, and let's take this opportunity to take the filter off. Don't have a spanner, it's the strap type. There it goes, it's going. I've got a new one. Catch all that oil. That's it. Right, clutch cover now. So I've disconnected the sensor cable here, disconnected the clutch cable, taken the clutch bracket off. Sorry, did that off camera. I know it's wrong, I'm going to have to lever it off, but gently. They've used flexible sealant, so it is actually stuck with like an adhesive effect. Just gentle, I'm not putting much pressure on there. Don't want to break anything. Started to move. I'm not going to go in between the faces, that's a bad idea. I'll just behind that lug. Well, not easy on here, not easy. Oh, there's another lug there. See if I can. There it goes. Magic. Still stuck at the top a little bit. She's coming, here she comes. There it is. Right, happy days. Look, here we go. All kinds of this horrible gasket material somebody's used. Clowns. Total clowns. So, disconnected the plug from there. That wasn't easy, but we've got there. So take this side cover off now. I'll do all three covers at once. I'm going to give them a rub up, maybe a bit of paint. So as you saw, I've got two here that are a bit tight. I've given the penetrating oil a bit of time. We may end up having to drill and tap these out. I think that top one's coming okay. It's coming. There we go. That's out. Now this is the one that's really tight. This could shear off, in which case I shall be doing more drilling and tapping. Right, last one. Let's see if we get any success or not. No, not. Snap that off, so that's going to get drilled out. Not to worry. Right, softly with the mallet again. There it goes. That one's coming. Oops. Dribble of oil, get the drip tray under it. Again, that sticky, they've used that horrible stuff again. On this side, there's a lug there at the back, so I'll just give it a tap. There it goes. That wasn't on the mating faces, if you're wondering, because we don't do that. He's coming. Actually, my apologies, it looks like this one has actually got a proper gasket on. It's just tight on those. It's just tight on those fitted bolts. Yep, that's that one off. Everything's okay inside. Just needs a clean up, and I'll put a new gasket on there. Then I know it's done. I'll clean those up, get them painted up. just seen me spray up the 3 covers. So as you can see, several days have passed because this very high temperature paint takes I think it's 7 to 8 days to fully cure. Well, we've been about 4, so I think I'm more or less ready if I'm careful just to put those back on. I'm ready for that now. So as you can see, they don't look too shabby at all. Certainly better than they were. We've got new gaskets to go on with that. So yeah, let's carry on putting that together now. Also off camera, I've cleaned up the faces carefully with a cloth and some solvent. Don't use anything sharp on there. And then I just run a oil stone. There's a little bit of damage from somebody else's handiwork on that edge, but I've run a flat oil stone over there and it's perfectly smooth, so that'll still seal. As you can see, I've got this cloth around it, all the workings of the engine. I've got it on the other side, also on the same on the alternator side. That is also been covered, and it just helps to protect for all the crud that drops. And underneath we've also done the sump and clean this face off, give it all a good polish. So yeah, that's ready to accept the new gaskets and newly painted covers. Right, first with the sump. So I think first of all I'll put the oil strainer in. There's the seal for the oil strainer. Bit of engine oil. Put a bit of engine oil on that seal just to help it in. You're supposed to put this seal into the engine first because of the shape of it. It goes together better. And this is directional. You've got to get it right, but there's a little tab on there which locates underneath inside, which I'll try to show you now. Not sure if you could see that, but there's a little tab, a couple of little tabs there, and then this tab goes between and it just sits in there like so. Similarly with the pressure relief valve, oil pressure relief valve, just put some oil on it and I'll run some inside it. This is engine oil, it's the right engine oil for the bike. And then just push that into the orifice. So that's those two in. So I have a new sump plug. If you remember, the sump plug was mullered, done with somebody had a go at it with mole grips and pliers and the like. So I've got a new sump plug and a new aluminium crush washer. Again, I've just been pedantic, but I put some oil on the threads, bit of oil on the faces of that, not much, just enough just to damp it down. And then that can now go carefully into the nicely painted underside of this sump. I can do this at this point, turn it the other way up. That's going to be much easier in the future. I'm not going to go crazy swinging on that, but I think that's enough. That should be fine. So it goes on that way around. No, it doesn't. Full, it's that way around. And there is the new gasket for it. Put it back a bit. So that fits on like so. Right, lift the sump into position. I'm changing the bolts, by the way. These are stainless steel cap head bolts. Again, just saves them corroding underneath the bike over the years. So lift the sump up and just watching the position of these, making sure they go into the right area of the sump very carefully, and then just offer a screw in there, being careful not to damage the gasket. Get that started by hand. Right, that's held that. Then go around the other side. I've already pre-greased just the ends of these screws, just to stop them from picking up in the alloy frame, the alloy thread in the engine casing. Just leaving it loose so that when you put a screw in, the screw allows the gasket to align rather than nipping the gasket and damaging it. Clutch cover now. Clutch cover. It's looking pretty good. Much better than it was before. Nice new stainless steel flange head bolts going in there. Plug in the alternator lead. Nice connection. Now for the clutch cover. Also looks pretty good. Bit of engine oil just on the mating face. It'll help hold the gasket in place while I get it all bolted up. Make sure the clutch actuator is picked up on the pull rod, push rod, pull rod. Then there's this sensor cable to plug in, which is not easy, that's buried inside there. I'll do that off camera because I'm going to struggle. I need to get some pliers. New oil filter also. It's already got some grease on there, comes pre-greased up on that O-ring seal. And just because I can, I'll put a little bit of oil on that face and a little bit in that thread in the bore there. The oil off my hands. See if I can tighten this up just by hand. Don't need to be silly tight. Yeah, that's plenty tight. Plenty tight that. So now I've got the covers on, filter on, I can go ahead and put some oil in. This is my choice this time around, which is to the spec that is required. I won't give you the specs because it may be different on your particular bike. You need to check that yourselves, I'm afraid. Apparently 3.3 litres with an oil change and a filter, but the viewing window's in good order on this bike. I've got a good viewing window, and I'll check it once I've ran the engine at a later date, but I'll just get some in there for now. 3.3 litres we're looking for. Well, this is going to take a while, you get the idea. I'll keep doing this, I'll do it off camera. Right, so I think that's me for today. We're ready now, the engine's back sealed up again. So I think now we're waiting for the next video. I would say is going to be headers. I think what we'll do is I'll show you some of the cleaning and polishing process that I'm going to use to clean up those second-hand headers I've got, stainless steel ones. Might as well have them looking a bit bling before I put them on. So yeah, stand by for that one. I'll get that done as soon as we can. Thanks for watching, everybody, and see you next time.